Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name's Ethan. I'm with Funded Elite, and today I'm here with Tevin. I speak with the traders who have successfully reached a payout, and I kind of break down their process of pretty much everything, like their journey, the setbacks, and what shifted for them and finally made it click for them to get that payout. And Tevin, if you don't mind telling us, again, who you are, where you're from, and how long you've been trading, sir.
All right. So I've been trading for, I guess, a little over 10, maybe 15 years.
Wow.
I started out before we had all of even before Robinhood gave, the zero commissions and all that stuff, before when you had to actually pay per trade. And I just started out just literally playing around with buttons and websites and brokerage accounts and just trial and error, trying to figure out how to just buy a stock in general or sell a stock and all that kind of stuff. And then slowly but surely, I just learned over time anything that I struggled with when I couldn't figure out what to do, how to do it, just look it up, a quick Google search. After that Google search turns into a YouTube video, so somebody is making a video about what you have questions about. And once you understand it, you just move on to the next thing and you just keep playing around until you run into another wall and you get right back on Google, YouTube, and eventually you'll be able to figure out what you're trying to find out.
100%. And now recently you actually just got a payout as well. And it was actually during this meeting. You've been trading for 10, 15 years. How does it feel getting, a payout from this prop firm or just in general? And if it is, I mean, how does it feel?
Well, I've actually had one smaller payout, same company, but having a bigger one, yeah, it feels good, gives me hope. The same way that you guys have the skeptics on your side, I was a little skeptical on my side too. So
100%.
just me being a little bit cautious, treading lightly, and going, for the smaller accounts and smaller payouts, just to make sure everything's legit, everything's real, and then going, getting a little more aggressive and going for those bigger payouts. Yeah, it just feels good knowing that it actually works. You have some hope.
That's good. No, I'm glad you actually mentioned that because this is exactly why we're doing, these interviews, just to give hope to beginners out there, letting them know that no, you're not going to get scammed. This is legit. And kind of moving into that part as well. I mean, do you mind flipping your phone camera around and showing the viewers pretty much your certificate of that payout, just as proof saying, hey, you got paid today, right now, as of this meeting. Everything is legit. It was pretty much instant just to give them hope and reassurance that this is not a scam in any way.
So I don't know how good that is, but that's
No,
the
that's perfect. Yeah.
so um, that's my certificate. I haven't checked that yet, but get a zoom
Yep.
right there. I
See it
can
right there.
tell
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
2285.
Uh, yeah. So yeah,
Awesome.
all good. I've withdrawn money already to my account. So
Awesome,
yeah.
Tevin. Now, with your experience and after getting a payout, how would you say your experience was with this prop firm compared to other prop firms? And of course, you could answer this completely honestly. We love the feedback and we love to give other people an honest answer. So it not only gives us a chance to evolve, but it also gives a real life, real time review to someone watching.
This is actually the first prop firm that I've traded with, so I haven't had an opportunity to compare. I mean, I've dabbled with another prop firm, but I didn't get too far. It was just a little complicated, not really user friendly, or not as user friendly. So I didn't trade with that too much. It was just kind of like a one time thing, and it wasn't for me. But as far as you guys specifically, the only thing I would say is just maybe having it be a little bit easier to get the payouts,
Yep.
or maybe banking information, having us be able to withdraw straight to our bank accounts from there. I mean, Rise, we'll see how it works, but I'm not sure. All the other places,
Yeah.
like when you think about a traditional brokerage account, all the other brokerage accounts that I've been trading with, I withdraw the money straight away and I get it within a day or two after I've made it, sometimes even same day. So I would say maybe just that part. But everything else,
Yeah.
it was pretty smooth. I was able to get into my challenges. I was able to track everything. I was able to get a lot of information. The tools and analytics, all that stuff is actually really good. It's actually better than, the brokerage accounts that I use. So I like that, being able to track your consistency and all that stuff. The limitations on your risk as well. So max drawdown, daily loss limits, and stuff like that. For people who don't have those limits already a part of their strategy, that was one of the things that was to help me gain those limits. So, before it's just whatever I felt comfortable with losing or something like that. But I think it should be a straight flat rate. Like, hey, no matter what, you can't lose 3% or you can't lose 5%. And I've taken a lot of losses in the past because I didn't have any system for that. So I would just take a 10% loss or a 20% loss and didn't think much of it because of the dollar amount. But it should be a flat rate percentage. So I like that about the firm, that you got those limits. You could adjust it. You could, kind of learn how to work around, having those limits and stuff like that.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, like the whole funnel where it's like, oh, you get credited, you withdraw to Rise, and then that goes into your bank account. I can for sure guarantee that that's
Yeah,
legit because I personally did that. I withdrew 2000 around there into Rise. Never seen Rise before. Keep in mind, I'm in California. I'm used to like stuff like Zelle or PayPal,
yeah.
stuff like that. And I saw Rise and I was like, huh, interesting. But the money did come in 2 business days, which was nice. So hopefully you'll get that ASAP and everything like that. Now, moving into kind of just giving advice to beginners, I heard you talk about systems, and in the beginning, I heard you talk about looking at videos, kind of just learning the system, playing around with the buttons as well, not being afraid to do that. Because I know a lot of people, they kind of just hop on, like whether it's MetaTrader or TradingView, whatever it is, like they're just looking at all the
Yeah.
buttons. They're like, whoa, getting overwhelmed without even knowing how to even read the chart. What advice would you give to just any beginner trader out there, or maybe even a vet that's looking for more info or just to refresh their knowledge? Could be anything really.
I would say for a beginner, and I feel like a lot of beginners struggle with just jumping in. And I would say maybe figure out what you need to do to calm your nerves and relax so that you could take your time actually figuring out whatever it is you're trying to do. So if it's a small account with a prop firm and you're just trying to learn or whatever, just take it easy, take it slow. When I got my very first account, within like a couple of trades, I blew the account because I just jumped right in. But I had to learn to position size, just reduce it to minimum,
Yep.
as small as you can make it so you can figure out what's going on. Or even if you can find a way to paper trade, not putting any money at risk until you find out, you got something going where, okay, I can push this to the next level. And then once you get there, then, you increase your positions and you can get a little more aggressive once you basically got in the ropes.
Sweet. No, 100%. I appreciate you sharing that. Now, do you remember which account it was that you traded with us? Was it like the instant, elite, custom, or
To be
standard?
honest, it wasn't an instant. It was probably a custom. I
Okay.
remember I paid like maybe $180 for it as a 25K account, but I didn't know the other options either. I was just trying to play around. So at the end of the day, you still understand your risk. When I blew that account, I probably lost like maybe $1,000, and instead of losing $1,000 of my real money, I just lost whatever I paid for the account. So I mean, the risk was still managed, but it could have been managed better. Is what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Now, kind of routing back to you, if I may ask, what was the hardest part of your trading journey?
The hardest part, to be honest, I would say just the discipline. That's the hardest part because even though I've got a successful payout, even though I've made a good amount of money trading, there's still times where I don't follow my own personal rules, which is not waiting for a specific setup or not waiting for my trades to develop, not cutting losses fast enough. It's just all of that stuff. Basically, just having that discipline to follow the rules. So whatever your own personal rules that you set up, stick to it and make sure you're not deviating from any plans that you have, and just trusting your process.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking about rules as well, I mean, for the next question, speaking about rules, I ask this to everyone that I interview. What do you think about our rules? A lot of people on our, marketing, our advertisements, they all say it's too strict. And a lot of, the feedback I've gotten from most of the traders that, use Funded Elite, they say that it's actually saved them from blowing the account.
Definitely saved me from blowing accounts, but I haven't had enough experience trading around rules like this, so I can't really say if it's too strict, not strict enough, anything
Yeah.
like that. I mean, to me, it seems like it's okay. Of course, as a person trading, I prefer to not have, as many restrictions, but I mean, that's part of the game. If you can't trade with these types of restrictions, I can't imagine how you perform in your own account with your own money
Yep.
without any restrictions. You just, So I mean, it's pros and cons, I guess.
Mhm. No, yeah, and I agree, and I appreciate your honesty. And I just really wanted to hear that because it's very interesting. Now, the last question I have for you today, and you could be completely honest as well. Would you recommend Funded Elite to any other beginner trader out there? Would you recommend overall?
Actually, to be honest, I wish this was the first thing that I started trading with because at the end of the day, the biggest obstacle of pretty much any trader is you got to figure out what's your range with capital. And
Yeah.
when you have a prop firm or something that you can pay $5 to get an account started, that significantly removes how much I need to put in or deal with or whatever. You got $5 that could get you 25K right off the bat. So for a beginner, I definitely recommend. And I have been recommending it to vets, beginners, and anybody that I know that trades. I've been letting them know, like, hey, you could go through here. It's legit. You play around with it. Eventually, you get your edge and your strategy flowing in that system. You'll make good money without putting up anything. The capital that you have to put up is just significantly less. So,
Yeah, no,
absolutely.
yeah, appreciate your honesty there as well. I'm sure a lot of new traders will benefit from that because it's a lot better than looking at, like our prop for match or the, or the pilot to see our reviews. So it's a lot better to see in person what, someone has to say about that. But yeah, no, that's about it. What I had for you today. Again, I appreciate your honesty. We're going to take this feedback in and evolve from it and evolve into a way better company and prop firm as it is. And I honestly wish you have the most successful trading journey. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Make sure you tune into our next trader interview. Every story is different, every person is unique. Everyone has their own unique selling point as well. So it's going to be very interesting seeing these next couple of people I interview. Thank you for watching. Peace, guys.